gonna be like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But
My whole thing, like, what got me was the fact that the mom went and tracked down the girl, and she basically, essentially, like, was like, yeah, I want help. Please get me away. I need help. Please, Mom. I'm so happy to see you breaking down in tears and all that. You know what I'm saying? Shocked. Like, you can't deny that. That's like undeniable evidence right there. Then she ended up going back. After the joint done, cut, rolling, all that, she ended up going back because of that, you know, that power, that dependency, the money, all that.
One of the main girls, she free now. She be coming on Shade Room all the time.
Denying it.
She be out in R. Kelly.
Okay.
She got in a fight one time with the other joint because it was like two main joints that he's had for a while.
Yeah.
And one of them got in a fight with the other one because the other one's still protecting R. Kelly. Literally, like, after R. Kelly got, like, I guess when they arrested him. So one of them was just like, she just said, F it. Like, nah, this ain't about to work after he got arrested. But the other one is still holding him down.
Right.
Like cops was called and everything. So now she's like up on R. Kelly on just all the things that he's made her do, that he's made other girls do. So like,
we might as well get started.
The rabbit hole goes deep for him with that one, bro.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
we can get started.
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I recorded the last half of this R. Kelly discussion. So podcast world.
Africans lost tapes, bro.
Damn, D-Lo.
They gonna hear this content, you know what I'm saying? At least like 2-3 minutes of it, you know what I'm
saying? That's how you feel, D-Lo?
I'm only doing that. I thought the conversation was very compelling. And I think our guest today brought up a very good point in terms of, you know, docu-series that's happening on Netflix. So I thought it was very essential. But I'm gonna do the proper introduction now. And then
I'm putting on my headphones.
Quarantine essentials, bro.
So, yo, people of the podcast world, what's going on out there? It's your boy DJ Earthquake. I got Dr. Fevdizzle with me.
My fault.
Huh?
Baby girl is a puta.
Oh.
Puta. Hayate la boca. Gee. Shout out to all the Malians out there, baby.
we got King
So P. Hey, I forgot a song.
Go off the dome, bro.
I ain't got nothing.
Give us some.
Yeah. Nah.
We are the most incredible out of Nigeria, straight from Nigeria. Street credibility we get. Check my fans. Yeah, no be lie. Yeah.
Oh yeah, pakurumo kojo dada.
Hey.
Pakurumo kojo dada.
Hey. What does that mean?
Pakurumo.
I mean, like, back that ass up.
I know.
Yeah, man.
I see.
Bona boy.
We got y'all on the moon with us.
See, that's how I know that these two brothers, the quarantine is getting to them. You know what I'm saying? I thought I would have bet my bottom dollar that they would have sang some Fela, bruh. The Yoruba brothers are not hitting the Fela.
But you have
zombie.
But what you have to keep in mind that we started on unforeseen circumstances, unusual circumstances.
But when the lights and cameras come on, y'all brothers usually pop into action. That's all.
But listen to something don't go talk unless you tell them to talk. Zombie don't go sing unless you tell her to sing.
Zombie.
If you call a woman African woman, no go greet.
She go say,
I be lady.
She go say, I be lady.
Ajoro, jara, joro.
Joro, jara, joro.
With that being said, we are the African This is Travel Talk. Welcome to another week here with us. Big shout out to everybody that tuned into last week's pod. The Last Dance and The Last Beating. Y'all random numbers up. Really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all comments. you know, likes, listens, all that good stuff, right? So, no long talk, about to get into today's podcast. We got a special guest, you know what I'm saying? If you into Broadway, into plays like myself, you will know that he plays a very established Nigerian icon. I won't even call him an artist. I'll call him an icon.
David E. Talbot.
Legend.
Very accurate.
You said what?
Very accurate.
I said David E. Talbot. I was joking.
Oh.
Anyone that knows place knows David.
So, you know, we're going to get to know this brother today, get to know his roles, get to know a few other things that he's into. And just like that, our second guest is here too. So everything is on the fly today, guys. You know what I'm saying? This is how podcast goes.
I told y'all, bro, just wait up a second. You know what I'm saying?
Everything is on the fly. But we got, it's Dwayne, right? Am I pronouncing
Yes,
right?
sir.
Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
Dwayne Richmond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which country is he hailing from? Which country is he hailing from?
Hey, Salon, Sierra Leone. Salon Bobo then I saw you hear me.
Hey, we got some Salon questions for you, Mike.
Freetown.
Hey, this the LA podcast for real.
Right, for sure.
LA team. Yo,
come on, is he the first Salon guy that we've had on the platform?
Nah. Rollo, Troy Massa Salon.
Nice.
We haven't had a lot.
We can hear you, Dad, but we can't see you.
I'm like, how do I see myself? Oh, there I go.
I turn your camera on.
Hey,
guys.
There she is. Dad, you in Burbank too, right? You in Burbank, right?
I'm in North Hollywood.
Okay, close enough.
I'm in North Hollywood.
I ain't from LA.
What are you doing over here? You already started trouble?
I ain't even been to LA before, but that just felt like flexing.
Exactly.
That just felt like flexing.
Oh, you gotta take a trip to LA, bro. How is that possible?
Bro,
I'm in North Hollywood.
I've been to some crazy places, bro. Every time I've been about to go, just come up, you know. But I'm gonna be out there. Once quarantine over. You know what I'm saying?
What is that?
Right on.
We have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are also welcoming back a friend of the pod, a real friend of the pod from day one.
Oh.
Deborah O.
That be waving at the people or something? I don't know.
I mean,
no, she's a celebrity extraordinaire. You know what I'm saying?
Who's so lucky?
With this scheduling, how she gave
crazy that we got 2 LA celebrities on this show. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all some LA celebs out there. Thank you for messing with us, East Coast little people. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you.
Who's y'all?
Yeah.
Dwayne
stays in Burbank.
Yeah,
Who stays in Burbank?
I do.
Oh.
I don't. Yeah. I live in
I don't think y'all met, but I met
that's what I was
Dwayne
about to say. We don't know each other.
I was gonna say, I'm like,
yeah.
I thought. You see, I was confused. Okay, but I used to live in Burbank before. But I'm Deborah. Nice to meet you.
How are you, sis? Dwayne. What part of Burbank?
It was next to the mall. I can't remember. It was on Buena Vista Street.
Okay. I'm here too. That's where I'm at. I'm like downtown, next to the mall in downtown Burbank.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, the same area. But now I live in North Hollywood.
Nice.
Keep it warm.
When I came out to Cali, Burbank was like really, really nice. Like I like that area.
Burbank.
You had money. You was traveling. You was out in Burbank. You was vacationing.
I came to see you in Burbank,
bruh.
I've only been to Burbank like 3 times in my life.
Me and Deb
I've only been there 3 times.
I was like, ooh.
Did we hang out? Right? Yes, I remember now. We hung out at my favorite Asian spot.
Here we go.
Volcano?
What's your Volcano?
Well, it was my favorite. It's no longer my favorite anymore. I can't say that.
Why not?
I live like 2 blocks away from that Volcano in downtown.
So we might have lived in the same. Well, no, because I live like maybe.
You say you were closer to Buena. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it warm.
All right, we're doing a podcast right now.
I know.
It's cool.
We doing
on the platform, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to go in and get into our guest, you know what I'm saying? Dwayne shed a little light on it. Hey, my friend.
Women, weed, and weather.
So yeah, just want to get into our guest real quick. You know what I'm saying? Word on the street is your governor is about to open your side of town up. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, open that up on Friday. But aside from that, well, stage 2. Let me say stage 2 of reopening California is supposed to happen this Friday. But aside from that, I know Dwayne, you spoke on it a little bit, but yeah, he said, well, according to the Shade Room, let me say that.
According to the Shade.
Deborah, can you confirm this sources?
I can't confirm or deny.
We are not talking about Hollywood. We are talking about the Shade.
But anyways,
hey, can I say
can't
something?
confirm or deny anything.
Can I say something to Deborah? So,
yeah.
Deborah, you know how many random dudes DM me thinking I'm affiliated with the Shade Room now? Like, I be having random dudes be like, yo, this company, they jacked my stock, they jacked this bag that I was making.
Oh, you
Can
sent
you
that
help
to me?
get me on the Shade Room? Some dude was like, yo, I have this new song that I'm coming out with.
They follow you.
Take the money.
Yeah, so they think I'm connected to the Shade Room.
Listen, catch it. Get it how you live.
You gotta charge them a promotion fee.
Hell yeah!
Right, get it how you live. That's how you do it.
Shoot, I don't know anybody associated with the Shade Room, so I can't help them either way.
That's right.
I mean, clearly, I think you are.
Guys, how are you guys managing your quarantine? Our guests doing and Deadpool.
Have you guys been social distancing? I don't think you guys have been.
I've been social distancing.
We doing a podcast via Zoom, Dad.
Well, that's because we live in different areas. That's different. You can't.
We all still live in Prince George's County, Dad.
Shout out.
Yeah.
All of you guys live in the same county? I don't believe that. I feel like, don't you live in like Bowie somewhere?
That is the same county, my dear.
Someone is giving us tunes.
Hey! Well, I don't know. Oh, who's giving the tunes right now?
That's me.
Oh, that's the one.
Okay.
Y'all know, Fela, they released a new song, Fela's Tunes. It's called I Go Shout Plenty. I Go Shout Plenty, oh. Y'all heard that?
Nah,
yes, I haven't heard the new one.
If you go on YouTube and just put in shouts, I Go Shout Plenty. It's just a lot of cool ass visuals with Fela while the music play. You know what I'm saying? But the song is lit. But the song is lit though. It's a. One day I want to shroom and listen to that shit. And watch the video.
Going West Coast on us now. We don't shroom.
That's real specific.
That's
real specific.
Yo, the fact that the fact that he said shroom, like he termed it.
That's the Sierra Leone.
Wow.
Now that's Salon's up. We don't shroom in Salon.
No.
I feel like shroom is more of a West Coast.
Yeah.
You know, that conscious, you know what I'm saying, next level
Anglo-Saxon
experimental thing. You know what I'm saying? Black people, we just smoke weed.
I try shroom.
I find that to be rather stereotypical.
That's right. You don't do shrooms or smoke marijuana?
Bruh.
I don't do shrooms.
What about
I don't know what shrooms are.
What's of marijuana?
What is that?
Igbo. You know, Sabi Igbo.
No, I mean, I wouldn't consider myself to be a smoker, but I've done it before. I've partaken.
But you dibble and dabble.
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay.
It helps me sleep as well.
We were just talking about that earlier today.
We were just talking about that anxiety kush.
What?
Yeah.
You guys all smoke?
No.
I'm not a smoker.
I stopped.
I was gonna say,
I'm a child of God. I don't do drugs. I don't sin at all.
No, yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I've heard some stories. I don't know about not sinning, but yes, drug free is the way to go.
Yo,
okay.
I'm from Ghana. Ain't no such thing as an Ashanti demon, bro.
Hey,
Look at this guy.
DJ Esquik, take over.
Take it away.
I don't smoke either, mama.
Okay, so I'm just going. What is it? Men in Black that.
Let me tell you something.
He's pulling stage.
I appreciate this brother though, and I know we haven't got into that yet, quick though. That's one of the questions I have for him, because you know how they say like sometimes if you play a character in a work of art, and you can like really embody that person, and you
can we get you lower that real quick?
Yeah.
I feel like he's bringing us like real legit
Fela
vibes right now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my brother, I'm feeling comfortable on my own.
Well, let's go ahead and discuss the Fela vibes that he's giving. For those who don't know, Dwayne Richmond plays Fela on Broadway.
Yeah.
So essentially your experience and how you got into it, you know what I'm saying? Let people know.
I got a lot of questions, brother.
Yeah, let people know.
The journey for me, man, Fela, like it's so crazy because in 2012, the summer of 2012 was when I did it on Broadway. But before that, my journey to Fela started as early as 2009.
Okay.
And it was around the time when the show had just been conceived and it was off Broadway. And my cousin Sa Ngauja, also Salomon Mende Bobo, he had been assigned the role of the original Fela Anikulapo Kuti on Broadway. I mean, on the off-Broadway production. He actually helped conceive the show. So, you know, in the creation of the show, he was very influential in it. And obviously, fast forward, the show gets put up in New York off-Broadway 2009. And I remember I came into this theater. I think it was the Eugene O'Neill Theater. Don't quote me on that. But I went into this theater. I was in New York. I come to see the show. And I was blown the fuck away.
Are you a New Yorker at all? Did you grow up in New York?
No. I was coming from Atlanta at the time. So my people. So background story. I was born in Sierra Leone. I left Sierra Leone at a young age, like around the time when I was 10, 11. Actually younger. I think I was like about 8 or 9. Yeah, I was 9. And I came to New York. I was in New York for like maybe a couple of months, and then from New York to Atlanta. And Atlanta basically has been like, Atlanta bred me. I went to school in the A. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, like, it's funny because like my lady would say, she'll be like, when you talk to your peoples from Atlanta, the South comes out so hard that she, you know what I'm saying? Like, but my accent becomes even more stronger. But anyway, Atlanta bred me. So from Atlanta, that's where I started to discover my acting and shit, you know, getting away from the street shit. I discovered theater. Because half of the people I went to school with you was about to say something?
Tupac.
Oh yeah. So growing up in Atlanta, and I grew up in like hood Atlanta, like College Park, Gabi Road, Old Town Villa. The apartments where I grew up in, they tore that shit down. Like that shit is no longer standing. But so growing up in Atlanta, for me, it was like, you know, this young African kid coming to Atlanta, like just looking for every way to attach myself to find my, you know what I'm saying, my path, you know? So growing up in the hood, obviously you fall into that same path, you know what I'm saying? So for me, the only thing that saved me in that lifestyle was theater. You know, out of high school, a good friend of mine was like, man, you like to act. You always talking about acting and writing movies and shit. He was like, there's this theater company that meets in Little Five Points. Little Five Points was kind of like the creative arts district in Atlanta. It was like, it's called YEA. You know what I'm saying? The Youth Ensemble of Atlanta. And this, the director, Freddie Hendricks, the dude is a beast. So I was like, all right, I'll go check him out. So I go into this theater. Then before they open up their show called Times. And I saw them rehearse, right? And I knew from then on that acting, like just being an actor and being an artist, was something that I wanted to do, because the entire time I've been in Atlanta, I've just been known to like knowing street shit, you know what I'm saying? But then here I come and I see other people that look just like me creating fucking genius on a stage, you know what I'm saying? And that shit, for me, that's where the bug hit me. And anyway, fast forward, so this Fela shit came up. I come into this theater and I watched this show, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Who is this dude? Now, keep in mind, in 2009, I had no idea who Fela Kuti was.
Wow.
I had no idea who he was. But what's so crazy is I had been hearing his music in my household, but never knew and never connected to that side, because again, growing up, you know, even though I grew up in an African home, you know, as kids coming to America at that young age, your influence are more in the streets than so in the house. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when I connected to who Fela was, and my cousin was like, yeah, man, you know, yeah, this is Fela, bro. You gotta check him out. You gotta check him out. And I love the show. And I started to, like, you know, listening to more of his music and realize this is music I grew up listening to in my house. And then I remember one time, my cousin just said to me in passing, he was like, yeah, man, you should really actually learn about Fela, because honestly, I can see you playing this role better than me. He was like, you have a lot of Fela-esque energy that will make you even more right for the show. He was like, but at the end of the day, I mean, I can't do the show forever. You know what I'm saying? At some point, they're going to need somebody else to step into the role. So start learning about who he is. And I was like, bet. So a year later, I get a call. They tell me that the Bill T. Jones, who is like by far one of the greatest choreographer to step into the game of dance. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like Alvin Ailey great. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know
Bill T. James. Yeah, Bill T. is the choreographer of Fela, of the Broadway show.
Okay.
Right. So they was like, yo, they want to see you in the LA. I mean, they want to see you in New York for the Fela show. So I suit up. I go to New York. You know, I do my audition. They send me some material to learn. I do my audition. I do the audition. Boom. I heard nothing. Left New York. Nobody called me. Nobody said you did good or you did bad. I didn't hear shit,
Dang.
bro. You know what I'm saying? And another year ago, they call me again. This time the show is getting ready to go on Broadway. So they called me again. They said, yo, they want to see you again for the show. And I'm like thinking to myself, all right, well, shit, y'all want to see me again for the second time, then this must be good. So I go back to New York. I do my audition. You know, this time I had a chance to talk to Bill T. You know, he was like, that was good. He asked me how old I was. And then he said to me, you're good, but you're too young.
Too young, yeah.
He told me I was too young. So I felt a little better, because I was like, okay, well, at least I know it wasn't my acting chops. It was just, they just felt like I looked too young to play this dude. So fast forward, show goes on Broadway. It's a fucking hit. Jay-Z, Will Smith, it's everywhere. Right? Everybody is there. Questlove is connected to the show. Everyone from Beyonce to fucking Angela Jolene to Tom Cruise, they're all there. The show is nominated for all these Tony Awards. You know what I'm saying? This shit was a fucking hit, bro. And after the Broadway run, the show starts to tour in around the U.S. At this time, I'd also flew to New York a few times. I watched the show a couple of times because, again, my cousin is playing Fela. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting to know the cast. Like, I become a cast member without even performing, because I was always around these cats. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just embraced me and shit. And it was like 2012. The show comes to the Emerson Theater in LA, and they asked me to come. They was like, yo, they want to see you again for the third time. At this time right now, I'm like, I don't show y'all everything I could do. There's not much I'm gonna come in here and do. It's either you want me in the show or you don't. So at this time, I go to this theater to do my audition. I don't even wait for them to count me off or to tell me, let's hear the monologue first or the song. Man, I walked into that fucking room, and the first thing I did was count the band. And they knew, because see, the thing is, now, from what I've been learning in between my second audition to my third, I've been realizing who the hell Fela was, not only with this musical shit.
Exactly.
The giant.
The giant of who is, that nigga was like a fucking, he was a king, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was the king of kings, bro.
Shrine,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? And I used to listen to like Fela's music, his musicians, when they talk about how rigorous Fela's rehearsal progress was. Fela will rehearse them. They will rehearse every song so much that Fela will conduct them just with his fucking eyes, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you ever look at certain shows, like with Fela live concert, you will see Fela just doing his thing, he's dancing, and all of a sudden he will just turn around to a group and just do just a slight nod, and the whole regiment would just switch to something else. You know what I'm saying? So my cousin had told me, he said, you got to understand, when I'm stepping into this role and I'm doing the play, I am not an actor who is playing this role and waiting for a music to come on so I can sing the song. He says, I am a composer that composes the band. He said, it doesn't matter what the rehearsal is. At the end of the day, the music is going to flow the way I conduct it. You feel what I'm saying? And that's exactly what I did. So I go into this audition, man. I walked in, 1, 2, 3, go. And I start doing Zombie. The band just jumped in. They start playing. You know what I'm saying? I go from one song straight into a monologue. Did my monologue, blah, blah, blah. Go into another song, go into another monologue. I did the entire sheet they had me to audition for, and then I left.
You didn't wait for feedback. You just
I don't wait for no feedback. I just go. So I said two things to myself. Hey, either one, they gonna respect that I've done the work, or two, they gonna think this is one arrogant ass motherfucker and we can't work with him. So let's just say at the end of the day, long story short, I started to rehearse in LA. Within 2 weeks, I had to prep to do my first show in Chicago. I did my first show in Chicago in 2 weeks of learning the show. And I mean, like I was in the theater because I couldn't really rehearse with the full cast. They gave me like a musical director and a dance captain. And that they were the ones who were teaching me the entire show with X's on the floors. Like that shit was like, imagine a whole stage with like different color tapes of X's and checks and lines and L's and T's. The shit looked like a math problem. But every fucking tape represents an actor and a dancer. So if I didn't, I would be doing the scene and I'll be doing the moments and the dance and the song, and she'll be like, oh, you just ran into a dancer. And I'd be like, shit. So that's how I learned the show in 2 weeks, bro. And then after I did my first show in Chicago, I didn't even know that they wanted to bring me on board for the show until I'm headed to my dressing room right after I get off stage. And as soon as I walk into my dressing room, it's like flowers, fucking champagne bottles and shit, cards. And then and I saw that one of the cards was like from the actual executive of the show. I'm talking about the money guy who owns the Broadway show. You know what I'm saying? This guy by the name of Steve Handel, who he sent me a card, like, yo, you were phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed the show. From the time I got off stage and got into my dressing room in Chi-Town, and I got dressed after the show and I'm headed to my hotel, my phone is ringing. It's my agent. They was like, we don't know what you did, but not only do they love you, but they want to sign you on board to do the next leg of this tour. And just like that, bro, summer of 2012, my nigga, I'm on Broadway playing Fela, performing for motherfuckers like Lawrence Fishburne. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Spike Lee, bro. So that's how the journey. That's how the journey for me started. That's how the journey to Fela started. But, you know, in going back to just talking about embodying that spirit of who he was, like that journey, it came with a lot of like smiles, tears, blood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But see, what's so funny what's the craziest part about it was, like, there were moments when I would disconnect on that stage and I would literally like lose recollection of what happened in the show. And I was just on autopilot with my lines and my songs. You know what I'm saying? And I would like literally step on that stage and I won't remember a actual performance. The only thing I would remember is stepping on the stage, doing the show. I mean, stepping on the stage, because, you know, the Fela character, we walk up like this from, you know, with the two fists up in the air. And I will remember doing that, walking through the audience and looking at the audience member and stepping on the stage. And then the next thing I will remember is like doing my curtain call, is like taking a bow. You know what I'm saying?
Blacked out.
Oh, bro, but it's that spirit, it's that energy though. You know what I'm saying?
It's the shrooms, dog.
It's that energy, man.
It might be the shrooms too.
It might be the shrooms.
Let me ask everybody this: what's your favorite Fela song?
Man, my favorite Fela. See, I have a few. That's a hard one. I would say my favorite Fela song to perform, and which would have to be my all-time favorite Fela song then, is Water, bro.
Water.
Yeah.
You don't get that in me.
Yeah, man. I think Water is the essence of the life. Humanity and the life of which Fela saw for his people. And when I say his people, not just Nigerians, but African people in the entire continent. So for me, that song, that's the only song like when I think of my experience on Broadway, or even if I can recall being on that stage and performing that song, the moment of that song in the show, it was one of the only moments I would say that I totally allowed myself to lose myself into the idea of Anikulapo Kuti. You know what I'm saying? And there were moments where I would sing the song and I would get so choked up that I couldn't even finish singing. You know what I'm saying?
Why you also womanizing?
Say again?
I said, why you also womanizing?
You know what I'm saying? But
polyamorous.
But my second favorite song that I would say is Zombie 2 as well.
He danced right along that question.
wait, I missed it. What did you say? I didn't hear it.
Because Baba Fela is a man of love. He had a lot of love to give.
Yes.
The essence of his life was love. And he didn't stop at spreading the knowledge to his people.
Absolutely.
He also spread the love through his spamming and to the women.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm saying, as you embodied the spirit.
Did you also practice a version of a holy polygamy? Did you wake up and perform in sexless and then go back?
In your matter.
Minimum. That's all.
You can tell your lady this was a previous life.
Listen,
trying to get him caught
No. Listen.
I know, right? You're right. We bad.
Let me tell you something. There's, babe. Let me tell you. No.
I like this guy.
So I'm doing a podcast, right? And then the guys was like, they asked me about my experience with Fela, right? And they was talking about the journey with the like how Fela had lots of women, and they wanted to know my experience with it. And then one of the guys said, well, tell your girl that this is the past life. So I wanted to bring you here while I said this to him. Bro, there's nothing I don't share with my woman, bro. With my lady. They didn't see you, love. So I'll talk about it. I will talk about it. So just so you know, I'm not afraid to have that conversation while
you are not Fela.
Here.
My
lady understands me.
This is an Afrikaans fest.
So let me tell you. Okay, so let me answer your question.
And this is different from very salon stereotypes that we hear. This is really
Here's the thing.
Here's
the thing about when the energy of Fela takes over you. Obviously, being on Broadway, that show is it's a high energy, sexy fucking show. We all know that. You guys have seen it. You know what I'm saying? Say again?
No, continue. That's drinking
up over there.
No,
why y'all worrying about me?
Oh, they talk about, I can't see everybody because I got a slide on my phone. So
you sipping my tea, that's all.
So the show, Fela's show is, it's one of those shows. You see, it's a cast full of very beautiful women. The girls, the women in the show are really the highlight of that essence that makes the Fela Broadway show such a a provocative and, that sexy show that it was because of the women. So, wait, are you doing this because you have a question?
Nah, because that's how I be with the Broadway women.
So I would say this. It was one of those shows where when we would do that show, the audience that will come to see that show will be so captivated by what they see. The women will be very, very drawn to this Fela character. And all the men that come to see the show, they want to meet the queens, So here's my story with that. I was actually married.
Hey.
When I first got introduced to the show.
I'm telling you.
This is legit.
Hold on now. Hey. I was actually married when I first got into the show. But unfortunately, around the time Fela stepped into my life, my marriage was in turmoil. You know what I'm saying? It had gotten to a point where that as much love as I had for the woman, I didn't know that we was towards the end of the road in our relationship. And we had tried.
I know one of you guys.
The English that you use is very nice. It's very, very smooth.
Say again.
The English that you use is very smooth. I like the way you navigate.
Right, he's a smooth talker. He can talk his way out of things.
But it's facts, though. You know what I'm saying? But it's facts, and I think, and that's why for me, honestly, tell the truth. That's why when I had to make that example when I said there is nothing that I don't share with my lady, because even in my relationships, I've never been in a relationship with a woman that I don't have some sort of a friendship or a connection with. You know what I'm saying? I've never been in a relationship that I've got out of it that is, even if it ended in a bad way, we will eventually overcome that bracket, because at the end of the day, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean that person is necessarily a terrible person.
Say that again.
I don't befriend my exes. I don't do that.
You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever dated a Salone woman? Let me ask you that.
No, I've never dated a Sierra Leone woman, but I have dated a Senegalese woman, and my current lady is Cameroon.
What's up? My sister. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, are you Cameroonian?
No, I'm Nigerian. I'm just.
Oh, Niger.
Dwayne, don't mind.
She repping the west side.
A lot of.
Let me just sip my tea.
A lot of Salone women and Liberian women often say like Salone men and Liberian men ain't shit.
Nah, bro, you ain't never heard that.
I dated one before.
But hold on, guys. Hold on. Before we go any further, I never answered my man question. We never finished the story.
You beat around the bush, bro. You know what's up?
I'm setting it up for you so you can understand.
When we saw your lady, we thought we already knew you was about to segue out of it. You feel me? I was like, let's give him the exit door.
This is not an
alley. I was like, dang, we shooting him down. He trying to go back to the question.
I'm like, whoa.
No, listen. I mean, hey, if we're gonna talk about it, we're gonna talk about it, right? I thought that was the platform I was on. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I guess
exactly what you on, bro.
That's what I thought. Well, I would say that the journey did bring me a lot of enlightenment to who Fela was in every aspect of Fela Kuti's life.
I love it.
So you cheated, basically. What you meant to say.
No.
You're not listening.
Because my
marriage was over.
Ended.
Yes.
You missed that part.
You need to
I just
listen.
feel like men know how to, go around the bush and do all that extra. By the time you come back to the conversation, you forgot what you're talking about.
Hey, but I was
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that. I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Was in shambles.
Nah, I'm on board with Deborah.
I was the one who brought it back. You know,
that's why you my favorite. That's why you my favorite, y'all. I don't know about everybody else.
Dwayne, don't worry.
That's how
Dwayne.
Yes, sir.
So I just quick question, because I can feel quick because he's doing his host 10. He's getting ready to move on to the next 10. But
right.
So did you all right, first of all, I feel like black men are not really into the whole Broadway thing. So I wanted to ask you your perspective on that. Maybe I'm wrong because I've never been to a show. Maybe it's something that's going on in New York.
So you are not into it.
Well, we're not attending. Not that we're not into it, but we're not like attending. We're not acting.
Well, yeah. I get what I understand what you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say.
Yourself.
But I think that's because Broadway is just not known in the Black community as the thing that we connect to. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying that this is bad, most Black people would rather go see a Tyler Perry play than to go see a Broadway show. Now, I understand that Tyler Perry's production, there is a market for that. And I will go on record and say, I think Tyler Perry is brilliant. Now, the path in which that he goes with the plays that he did before, I never did a Tyler Perry play because that wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? And I did a Tyler Perry movie, but I just was never into doing Tyler Perry's play. So I think the reason why Black or African Americans don't.
Hey, my friend, hold on. Which one did you do?
I did That Is Little Girls.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
that's one. That was a good one.
And that was where I met Idris Elba too, and found out he was Sierra Leonean.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah, but anyway, but I think the reason why Black people, African Americans, don't go to a lot of theater. I mean, I also think that the system and the business is set up in a way where it's not really affordable. A Broadway show is going to run you, a decent seat is going to run you over $100 a ticket.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And people are not really like, especially like, that's like saying, oh, okay, I'm gonna go see a movie, you know, or and now I gotta pay like a ticket price of $50. You know, it's the same thing. Tyler Perry shows will probably run you would get a decent ticket for like $25, $35. Yes, they're expensive tickets, but at least you have options. You know? Yeah. So a lot of people don't go to Broadway like that. So for me, I think that's how it was in the beginning, but I wouldn't say that's how it is now. I think in the entertainment industry, especially when it comes to acting, there's a lot of respect now that theater actors are getting in the game because of the success of some of these like big time actors that you see that are crushing the game. They all started from theater. So, and Broadway is the highest level in which you can go. There are fucking actors right now who have series on TV and have won many awards for their work, but have yet to step foot on a Broadway stage. You know what I'm saying? So it is on a prestige level that we as African American artists are just getting used to. But you know, the Europeans been on that shit forever.
Shout out to the homie Pinnacle Keenan Scott. You know what I'm saying?
And I asked that because I'm like, I know I would absolutely enjoy a Fela show. Like if I felt like it was something
it's a different
accessible,
vibe.
If I felt like it was something accessible in like my headspace around me, I would absolutely get into that. You know what I mean?
But Fela show is not really like a typical Broadway show. You know what I'm saying? Like a Fela show is a concert, bro. Like one of the hardest things you're gonna find doing watching a Fela show is sitting still. You know what I'm saying?
Godfrey did one, right? Or am I tripping?
Am I too loud? Godfrey, which Godfrey who?
The comedian.
The African comedian?
Yeah.
I don't know if he did a Broadway show. I'm not sure.
But did he play Fela? Did he play Fela?
Oh no, nah. Not in the Broadway show.
Also I want to ask you, because we all seen the Fela videos when he be in the house with just, you know what I'm saying, one item of clothing on. And that's why I prefaced it with the question about Black guys don't really I wanted to know your perspective on it. I definitely have not seen the Broadway show. So is that something you had to do, bro? Being on the stage, like night after night, barely dressed, you know what I'm saying?
Well, well, I mean, for the show, we had the typical Fela costume, you know, the blue suit that he wears.
Exactly.
We had a blue suit, we had an all-white suit, and we had an all-pink suit. And which matching shoes, by the way. So for the most part of the show, I think I spend like 50% of the show I'm just without a shirt on.
Okay.
But I'm never on stage in my underwear though. But there is a segment in the show where the show starts, like the second act. It starts with a video that comes on that shows on a projection screen in the back of the theater, and it's like I had to record that prior to the show in like a sound studio where I'm actually sitting in my underwear smoking a cigarette, and I had two queens next to me, and I'm talking about like politics. So that's the only time. That's a video. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the documentary shots, the interviews, and all that.
Exactly.
You had to grow your taco meat too.
No, well, Fela didn't have facial hair, bro. He never.
chest hair.
The chest.
Oh, nah. Let me tell you about the Broadway show. There was still an essence of it that we still had to put in, because it was a Fela story. But you have to understand, it's still Broadway, and it's still Western entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So we had to appease in a certain level. With that being said, outside of such a rigorous like training of learning Fela's the music and songs and the Yoruba and the monologues, I also went through a physical like training. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to wake up in the morning like at 7 a.m. and I would jog from my hotel in Manhattan like maybe 6-7 blocks to the gym that they had for us, and I would work out for like 2 hours. After 2 hour walking out, I would jog back to the theater. I would run the show, rehearse the show. After rehearsing the show, probably go get food, go back to the gym, work out for another hour and a half, hit the treadmill for like 45 minutes. And that was my everyday. And then at night, go party my ass off and you know, Smoky Bow and drink, and come back the next day and do it all over again. But you know what the crazy part about it? I was in the best shape of my life then than I am now. And every night was a party, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I said that to say there was still an essence of us stepping on the stage that we had to we had to be that sex fucking symbol. So we were, you know what I'm saying? We took care of ourselves, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't let ourselves go. You know, we made sure that we was on point, you know? Fela ain't had abs, but when we walk up on that stage and we rip that shirt off, you damn sure believe them abs was popping, bro.
You know what Fela and Usher all in one.
Yeah, Falsha.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, man. But you know, I mean, it was a good time, man, and it was a time for self-discovery too. For me, a lot of people ask me if I can go back, would I change that experience? Because stepping towards Fela took me away from film and television in LA. You know, at the time I was like signed with a very, very big agency, and I was going out on a few auditions, and I'm coming from like, I had Stump the Yard under my belt. You know what I'm saying? Daddy's Little Girl was under my belt. I did another movie with William Macy. So my film and television career was really taking off. And then Fela came at the time when I thought I was finished with doing theater and wanted to do film and television, but I couldn't say no to telling the story of an iconic legend like that. And for me, me taking that show, it took me away from film and television for many years. I mean, even now, my schedule, even in LA, is still obstructed with, if it wasn't for this COVID-19, I'll be getting ready to fly to Mexico to do a show. You know what I'm saying? And so we still doing, we're not doing the Broadway show anymore, but we're doing the Fela concert. You know what I'm saying? So it was a dedication that I made to my life in 2009 that not only helped me shape the actor musician who I am today, but also it helped me discover myself too as a person. You know what I'm saying? And my love and need to want to do something for the motherland, you know, because that's what Fela was all about. His music, everything, his life, he sacrificed for the betterment of his people. And I think, to me, that's the highest level of humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Round of applause.
Yeah, man.
Well, so can we go back to my question now?
Yes, sir.
To the rest of us?
No. What is the issue with Salon Men and Salon Women? Like, what's the beef y'all have?
I never knew that Salon men have beef with Salon women. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
It's usually the women that beef
women that have beef with Salon Men.
Yeah. I mean, they just say y'all ain't itch. You know what I'm saying? They can't.
Really, I've never heard that. I've heard a lot of women that would be like, when I meet other African women, and they say, I tell them I'm African. They say, where you from? and I tell them I'm Sierra Leone, and they be like, okay, good. And I be like, why? They be like, well, because if you were Nigerian, I wasn't gonna fuck with you.
I mean,
I've heard that.
I mean, we get the Nigerian men definitely.
We get that a lot.
We get
I've
that a
heard
lot,
that one.
but they still mess with us. Though.
I hear that.
And our women actually mess with us, but y'all women, they mess with us, then talk shit about us. But y'all women really don't mess with you.
Like that.
Yeah, like Salon women really. I know a hella Salon women that have not dated one like Salon guy, whereas Nigerian women they would trash us, but they would still keep dating Nigerian men.
That's true.
Well, I think that maybe to me. I guess I would question the Sierra Leone women. And not to say because I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't know. I've never heard this before, but I always feel like it doesn't matter whether Nigerian, Sierra Leonean, Cameroonian, fucking European. At the end of the day, you're always gonna have good men and you're gonna have terrible men. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have good girls and terrible girls. So for me, if they say they don't date Sierra Leone men because of their experience, then for me it's like maybe you should check the Sierra Leone men that you're dating.
It's probably
because I'm a great ass fucking Salon man. You know what I'm saying? I'm shit. You better ask my Cameroonian woman.
So Deb, as a woman in this podcast right now, what is your experience with African men from different countries? Let's speak about that.
I mean, white men are looking more appealing every day.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let me.
Are you contact,
all right.
That was a joke. I mean, honestly, I have to say Femi is right, where as much as I want to say F Nigerian men, I don't see myself marrying a non-Nigerian
Give her a round of applause, please. Give her a round of applause.
I might kiss some African frogs, but my prince is going to be from Nigeria. My king,
That's beautiful.
I'm sorry.
That's beautiful.
From Nigeria.
I believe that. That's values, right?
That's beautiful.
And that's
but y'all making it real hard. You know what I'm saying?
That's why we love. That's why we love our Nigerian women.
Deborah, you will rise. You will rise up. Don't worry. Don't worry.
I'm not looking to date right now.
The one will not be waiting.
Maybe a few more frogs, but you'll find it.
It's okay. Yo, if you don't kiss frogs, then the prince, he will matter. What if everyone transformed to prince? You will be like,
I'm not kissing anything right now, so I'm good.
It's quarantine.
But I think, listen, so I'm gonna take it a little deeper, right? I'm gonna go a little deeper with what we just talked about. Mm-hmm. I think at the end of the day, I love that, that you want your king to be Nigerian. Obviously, then that means you guys would have a lot in common and there's an understanding. Now, would you go as far as saying they will have to be of the same tribe that you are too as well?
No, I wouldn't say that. No.
No, are you anyway?
I'm an Edo girl.
Edo. Benin. Oh, wow. Oh my God.
See, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Honestly, I thought you were Yoruba this whole time.
Nah.
But no, what I was gonna say is like I kind of surrendered that idea of saying that I will only be with a Sierra Leone woman, and I've never had that idea because I've never dated a Sierra Leone woman, not because of the fact that I don't feel like Sierra Leone women are right for me. It just life just never brought me to that place. But what I did say to myself after my first serious relationship with an American woman, I would say that for me, if it's anything that I know that my journey will always end up with is an African girl, an African woman, no matter what part of the culture she's from. I want to connect with my African woman. You know what I'm saying? So, but I know a lot of cool Sierra Leoneans. I know a lot of cool Liberians. It's just been that our path never crossed on an intimate level. You know what I'm saying? And that was the only reason why. It had nothing to do with because, you know what I'm saying, she's Sierra Leonean, But I've never heard
Gemini men.
You don't date Gemini men?
Gemini or Virgo men, I just don't do. And I'm a Gemini woman, so that's why I'm saying this.
Excuse me, what's the second one you said? What's the second one you said?
Virgo. And Gemini men.
You've insulted most of the guys on
Virgo.
this thing.
Wait, are you guys all Virgos?
Put any thought in.
Yes.
No, I am a Taurus.
I'm an Aries.
Virgo.
Wait, who's an Aries? No, Mitty, you're an Aries, right?
Yeah.
Even though my ex is an Aries, so I don't know if I fuck with y'all either. I gotta think about that.
All right, Yvonne Orgy.
Deborah, let me ask you: Do you like cats?
That's messed up, bro.
What?
That's messed up.
I missed it.
I don't like cats though. I don't.
Okay.
I would take a dog.
You saying cat ladies? They be
cat woman.
I'll take a dog. At least they don't have to talk back to me. Y'all all the same.
Shit, you seen that video of that girl that was on the Shade Room? The girl with the little pit bull, and the pit bull was just growling at her. And she was like, calm down. That shit was...
I did see that video.
I don't think she likes shit.
Damn, bro.
Wait.
So can we get on?
Do you still follow?
Huh?
She does sip tea.
Do you follow the Shade Room anymore?
I don't. Next caller. What's the
She gets the Hollywood just direct, bro. She don't gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? They call her phone.
True.
You know, this is
they cool.
You feel me?
They cool. I'm cool. That's all that matters. They cool.
So in this time, right? In this time for you, you know what I'm saying? Usually, from my observation, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. You know, usually you be out and about, like, you know what I'm saying, doing your work. So how does work with Corona?
You know, red carpets, exclusive functions, you know what I'm saying? Hopping out of future cars, hopping out of cars that look like they came from Westworld, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you're talking about, but the thing about it is what I love that, you know, I've always had the option of working from home if I wanted to. Like, I have an office, but I don't have to go to the office unless I'm doing like a meeting or an interview or something like that. So that's always good. And I'm still working from home. I just catch my tea from my phone and not on the streets.
You really love
now, not to rehash old things, you know, they kind of brought it up, but you know what I'm saying? You left a particular platform, you know what I'm saying, because you wanted to do a little bit more positivity in stuff that you were reporting. Now, to go back a little bit, you left around the time where Kevin Hart got caught up for his, you know what I'm saying, 1 2 1 2. For those who remember.
Oh, y'all be like doing homework.
You know, I do my due diligence. With that being said, how is it possible, especially now with a lot of stuff going, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people putting DMs. Recently, we even had something unfortunate where they showed like things that were happening in the DMV with creatives doing, you know, a few extracurricular things to women in terms of violating them.
Wait, what is that? I didn't hear about that.
I didn't hear about that either.
What are we talking about? Hart?
The DMV.
Yeah.
So essentially, here, maybe about last week.
DMV rapists.
What?
I mean, of course, they're not gonna know they in Cali. So
yeah, I know.
It's a DMV gist. It's serious too.
Yeah. So
what do you mean? My sister live out there.
Pretty much
bored on quarantine, and they're just causing just mess, man.
Pretty much, they started a Instagram and a Twitter page, like, and they're outing individuals that have either sexually assaulted or.
Wait, who are doing these? Who's doing this?
We don't know who.
That's the worst thing.
There's an anonymous page on Twitter and on IG.
Okay.
That are outing men who have sexually assaulted, coerced, or harassed women for sex. So
are they saying men of power?
No. These are everyday
regular
brothers.
men, everyday men. Like they're just like
regular men. Okay, no, I haven't heard about this.
And pointing these guys
I mean, that shit
out.
is real. That shit is some real shit.
It is real. It happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I thought we was talking about this, like celebrities, like, you know.
I mean, essentially, that's what I was about to get to, because I mean, in a lot of ways, there's still negative content still coming out, and with her trying to not push that as much, How do you stray away from that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because especially during this quarantine time, it's like everybody's dropping mess week after week. You know what I'm saying? So, how do you navigate through that?
I mean, I feel like it's how you report it. It's not what you report, it's how you report it. So if you're being real messy, if you're being like, you're not being sensitive to the people that are being a part of whatever story you're about to put out, because you just want to be the first person to get the story, or you want to have the exclusive story, that's the kind of stuff I want to stay away from. You know, like the platform that I work for now, I have access to a lot more things, you know, a lot more authentic things versus just like the no shade, but like the VH1 and love and hip hop type of platform type of stuff. So for me, it's just kind of like, it just depends on how you report it. As long as you come from a bright side, then they can't say that you're trying to be messy. And I feel like that's what I love about the platform that I work for now, is that we can still report the juicy news, but we do it in a way where people can still go home and be like, okay, they weren't trying to tear down the Black community, trying to do this, you know?
And you're with who do you work with? Is it like
so I work with Kevin Frazier. He's underneath Entertainment Tonight, and then I do all of the social media for Hip Hollywood and another travel blog called Travel Coterie.
I want to say Kevin Frazier. Crazy enough, because when my first introduction to him, he used to do sports.
Yes.
And so like just watching him go from that to, you know, doing entertainment. At first I was like, what the hell? Like I legit, when I was a kid, he used to do sports. So
yeah, and it's it's ironic because I went to school for that. My full thing was I had a major in public relations and journalism, but my minor was sports management. So I've always wanted to do something in sports, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, as time went on, of course, the shading kind of took me off my track. But I'm glad that now I can work with him, and like, you know, I can see him, like he's a mentor, you know what I'm saying, to have like around, to just kind of see how he juggles multiple platforms and different kind of things. He's an actor still, he's a speaker, you know, things like that. He's a father. So to me, yeah, and that's just the good thing too, that he's a Black father, you know, he's like present in his family's life. So
how are you keeping yourself busy with this quarantine?
Yeah.
Why y'all saying it like I'm supposed to be doing something extra?
Hey man,
I ain't gonna hold you there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm used to seeing you on a weekly basis with a new outfit. You know what I'm saying? Designed by this person. Taking pictures.
What you mean? So, what are you talking about?
It's a little off.
He used to see you in Vera Wade.
Hey, we like them all. We like them all. You know what I'm saying?
Are you talking about on social media? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
On the IG.
Oh, well, I just took a break because I just feel like I've been working in social media forever. You know what I'm saying? So now that we're forced to literally just do that, it takes away the fun for me to being on social media all the time, because it's kind of like, I feel like everybody is like just, you know, trying to do something or be seen. So I was like, let me just take a step back. Let me give myself some, you know, some woosah from social media and then come back hard, you know? You might see me in a segment or two, you never know.
What segment is that?
Hopefully you guys will want to participate. More details to come soon.
Hey,
are you going to give us the details to participate?
Yeah, once I have everything,
my details. So now I want to ask you though. How do you feel like you've grown since you maybe stepped away from, you know, what you were doing previously and now, and also working with, like you said, you look at Kevin Frazier as a mentor. How do you think you've grown in what areas?
I've grown a lot because that whole time, like let me not say lost, but there was a lot of transitions that were happening at one time. Like I was getting out of my relationship, leaving the shade room. I left my apartment in Burbank, actually, which is the apartment I was in love with, you know, to North Hollywood. It was just a lot of things that were like changing. And I knew at first it was abrasive. Like I was like, you know, I don't know why this is happening right now, but I want to fight somebody. But then I realized that
New Yorker.
Everything.
I am even shocked.
Well, not for real, you know, but everything happens for a reason, you know, and I had to realize that. And I believe that I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I didn't go through that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I have better sense in business. I have better sense in the people I keep around me. the energy that I give to certain things and don't give to certain things, you know, things like that. And even dating. I mean, like now I'm starting to like slowly put, you know, myself back in the dating pool, but you know, it's still, I'm learning a lot more about myself as I go on. So I like this person that I am now.
That's what's up. One time for
yeah.
growth.
So I guess with like Hollywood shut down, entertainment shut down, all that, has that impacted your work? Even though obviously you still work virtually and all that. I mean, are you recording on Jordan documentaries now? Is that what y'all looking at? Like
Molly and Issa.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, we were going to report on the MJ documentary regardless, but you know, it's just everything's in the house. You know what I'm saying? So now, like, even when we do, what is those, like those versus battles, like you do on Instagram, you see on Instagram and stuff like that. If it wasn't on social media, we would be at that event. You know what I'm saying? So it's still kind of the same thing, but it's just via video, and now you're just recording, you know, remotely instead of at actual venue or whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really feel like I'm loving it. I don't know about anybody else. I love this.
Like being inside.
Yeah, like I mean, I love the fact that I'm forced to like sit.
I love it too. I think I told you I'm loving it. I'm not complaining, bro.
I feel like
Deb, what's your IG, Deb? I know I just jumped off to the topic. It's so fun, you know. I'm sitting here listening to her talk, and I'm like, it's so crazy how like you were so close to me, but our paths never crossed, even in the African community. You know what I'm saying? That shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's the_Ebony_issue.
All right, I'm gonna add you.
You might as well drop
y'all better be still
for the people too.
Yeah, John, I don't got yours, Dwayne.
You know, I still follow you after my comment.
Dwayne.
No, it's good.
Dwayne,
That's why you my
if you don't follow back, I will unfollow you.
I ain't gonna hold you. I want a red carpet invite. You know what I'm saying? I can dress up too. You want to be? I can put up African.
You trying to be my date on the?
I can put on my.
You trying to be my date on the red carpet? Is what you saying? You have to go through a test. You know, it's an application that comes along with my red carpet.
Damn, it's like that.
I'm gonna pass with flying colors.
I don't invite. Like honestly, I keep my personal life and my business life separate. Like I do not. If you ever see me out, you don't ever see me with a man.
TMZ be in the woods. You know what I'm saying?
It's not even just TMZ.
Let's talk about that.
TMZ.
We can't.
He said, "Oh Lord."
Damn right we can't.
No, we can talk about it if you want to.
No, okay. I just have a question. I know I'm not the host, but can I just? And this is open for everyone. So, the host is
your show.
The guest is playing the host now. My thing is, how long can you know how my sis just said she doesn't like mixing her personal life and her business or work life. That's right. You ever see her out, you won't see her out with a man. But I kind of feel like at some point, right? Like won't those roads kind of cross? And is that not okay? Like I don't want to go to parties by myself if I'm going with my guys, but you know what I'm saying? If it's a working like a business thing, like a premiere or something, you know what I'm saying? My lady's gonna be there with me too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that would have to be a serious relationship for me to be like, because reputation is everything for me. I'm not that type of girl to be out here like every other second you're gonna see me hopping out on the scene with a new man and things like that.
I could dig that.
Alexis
So that's why I'm like, if we're in a serious relationship, I don't mind like showing you off and things like that. You just have to be able to you know, be okay with that world. And in my last relationship, unfortunately, that person wasn't okay with that world. He made it seem like that on the surface, but then, you know, certain things will happen.
It was different.
Yeah. So that's why for me, I've learned to just kind of separate the two, and so that, you know, no one's feeling jealous, nobody's feeling inadequate about anything. It's just, you on one side, I'm on the other side, and that's just that.
So not to you know what I'm saying, rehash. I mean, it sounds like you healed from it, but you know, how long ago was this relationship that you brought up?
I think it was ended in 2020, the ending of 2018. So like the beginning of 2019. So it's been like a year since, yeah. But I'm loving the single life.
Are you for real?
You on Hinge or not?
Are
you on Hinge?
COVID-19 is not a single.
Actually, I am on Hinge.
Hey.
What a bumble.
Well, no. Let me take that back. I deleted my page though now, but I was.
Wait, do you really love the single life?
I seen Dad's profile on Hinge a while ago.
Damn, I was trying to be undercover, bro. I was trying to like make it obvious that
Yeah, that's crazy.
Damn, both of y'all seen her on Hinge yet? Y'all, you in California too, bro?
No, I ain't seen her on Hinge.
How you gonna get him? He got a girl.
Yeah.
I'm on the East Coast. No, I didn't see her on Hinge.
Yeah, y'all got the premium Hinge account.
Y'all
got premium Hinge account.
Nah, Minnie said it. Minnie said it. So you gonna troll me? Minnie was.
Nah.
My tea.
Hey, Dwayne. Nah, but to answer your question, I think I mean that's each individual probably has to make that decision in regards to how they want to handle,
facts.
Their relationships. Some people are the type like, man, once they start, they ready to show off who they talking to. Like,
right.
They won't stop tweeting about them. They'll be like, they'll start putting the half pic with it's two plates of food, and it's like, bro,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. It's so nonsensical to me, at least. But to each his own. I'm the type of person. Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead, continue. Because
I feel like for me, I'm more so like what Deb said. Unless we about to really be serious, then I might be like,
right.
Yeah, come out here. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I'm a super private person, so I just
and
like.
I think
so. I was.
So
I was gonna say that.
Go ahead.
Now, what I was gonna say was that if, in terms of like business and personal, the way I look at it is like, if we talking romantic, then I kind of do see where you separate business and personal. But in terms of like friendships and all that stuff, I think a lot of Black people, we do tend to be like, my work friends here, my real friends here. Like, I'm only here to collect a check. Don't add me on Twitter. Don't add me on IG. I'm not doing none of that with y'all. And I think that's it's very like cost efficient to what we want to do overall, because, like these people who help you professionally, why would you not want to, make friends with them and build bonds with them?
But
so I think,
you are building. This has nothing to do in the case that I think he asked Deborah. I don't think this has nothing to do with that, because he's saying, is she gonna bring her romantic partner to like an event?
So yeah, I said outside of romance. Outside of romance, I see why you would separate it.
So friendships also though, like I've cut off so many people because I realized that they were just using me to get me, to get to that event or whatever, get to around that person that they think that I'm cool with. So I feel like even that, like I've had to, one thing I've learned about myself now, I'm way more antisocial now than I was before. Before I was so like, oh, you my friend, you're my friend.
That's
when you say before
I moved
what?
to LA. Before I moved to LA, being a New Yorker, we're like so to ourselves, like, so moving to LA, I was just kind of like, now I can be like social, I can be talking to people, but then I realized that no, like I want to be by myself, like, well, let me not say by myself, that's a little bit hard.
I don't even think I've seen you this year at all.
Yeah,
because you be cooking and not inviting nobody, but that's
when I was in LA, I was in LA for like a day. I hit up Debs.
Don't do that.
She ain't pull up King Mitty. You know what I'm saying? me and King Mitty, I think that was the night. I think the Bonds had a concert.
Oh yeah, the band.
I was at that concert.
Damn,
what, for real?
Ducked out for the Bonds?
Nah, she just, she
Nah, we didn't see her at all.
Yeah, pull up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
maybe she was working, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That Devon concert was lit, though.
That's my guy.
I think you told me I think you told me you at work, Debs. Like you had some work.
I mean, I was working, but yeah, only that.
See, that's the only thing I miss about this whole COVID shit, man.
I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna sip my tea.
Yeah, keep sipping your tea.
Those moments are gone, bro.
Keep sipping your tea.
We all at home. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like it's like the extrovert versus introvert thing. Like there's people that are like, you know what? I'm happy that I can like stick to myself now. I don't have to make up the excuses, play fake sleep when my friends invite me out.
Yeah, that's me.
But you know what is this?
You ain't no introvert though.
Like honestly, I really feel like this shit is like a shift, right? You know what I'm saying? Like on some old like conscious shit, like it feels weird because I know that shit will okay, LA is gonna open up. Eventually the US, the world is gonna open up.
Eventually.
I know, but I'm not talking about this little soft opening. I'm talking about where clubs, bars, and shit is gonna open.
Exactly. Read the report. Y'all about to get sporting goods stores open. What's that gonna do? Y'all not about to turn up? Some stuff is never gonna open back up. In the Middle East, they like outlawing hookah, like it's stuff certain because certain stuff. Society's gonna change, man. In a way.
My birthday, I'm out.
See, I think what's scary about what like this whole COVID shit and everybody being locked down, and eventually if shit opens up too early, like what the fuck is happening in Atlanta right now? What's scary about it is this though, because you got to think places like New York, Atlanta, LA, Miami, these are social cities. Yep. People fly to these cities to have a good fucking time. Vegas. So what I'm saying is, this is why I think it's dangerous to open shit early, because we Americans out here, like, we live for that Friday night, bro. You know what I'm saying? We live for that Saturday night. We go and have a work week so we can let loose. You know what I'm saying? That's what we live for. So think about it. On a mental state of mind, people ain't been able to do this shit in over 2 months. When you open up a city too soon, you're gonna get exactly what's happening in Florida and what's happening in Atlanta right now. Exactly. That shit look like Freaknik in Atlanta, bro.
Exactly. And I don't need that in DMV. I don't need that in Maryland.
The DMV, come on, with the Africans?
I still need to go to the supermarket. I still need to go and pump my gas. Stay your dirty ass in your house.
Well, I have a question though, because like I've been like not paying attention to news and media, because actually
I watch that shit every day, bro.
I'm a consultant, so the work that I do, we're actually impacted by COVID. We're doing work now that we have to report on, like COVID numbers and stats. It's just like crazy. So I've been really busy. What is going on in Atlanta? What you said?
They open
clubs in Atlanta.
They did a soft. It's a soft open, so it's not everywhere open, but they have like barbershops and beauty salons are open. It's I don't know if clubs, restaurants are open.
They open.
I don't know if clubs and bars are though.
That's crazy to me. I know two people in my personal circle that lost a parent in the last 48 hours, bro.
Wow.
It's crazy, bro.
Let that sink in. And you guys, you are so selfish to the point that you want to go outside. I'm just saying.
Granted, they were infected.
Who's you guys?
I'm not saying people here, Deborah. Please learn to know when someone is generalizing. Oh yeah, sip your tea.
Let me see my tea.
Sip it.
They were all affected like late March, granted, but still. So maybe those are the figures that track.
Yeah, I seen a video of Atlanta. Some I don't know what it was. It was outside, but somebody was like busting their gun and all of that.
That's what I was talking about. That shit just happened this weekend.
Yeah.
Busting guns.
ATL is whack.
I mean, honestly, man, the shit's gonna hit the fan at some point. Now you got these like, you know, I was watching some posts with some white people out there protesting
with guns.
With guns. Like,
come on, bro.
Like, it's just, to me, that whole shit right there is just the nature, the true beast that like American setup is really slowly starting to be revealed. And when that shit hits the fan, I'm taking my ass to Salome, shall
Yo, my mom said that already. She finna like put in for a retirement. She going back to Nigeria, bro.
So that's another question I have.
And let that be a lesson for all of us on here. If you don't have land or have a connection back home, start that shit now.
You're doing it wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but to me, I feel like, because I seen that protest and like the white people protesting, trying to open up. And you know, they've been on their whole like, you know, let us open, and they'll be shouting in the police face. But then you'll see people on Instagram talking about like the difference between this. If they were black, you know, this would have ended differently and all that. And it's like, But the thing is, we know that, but we still try to have we act like these people don't know that. They know damn well what they're doing too. The people that report those stuff, they know damn well what it is. They know, of course, that if they were black people, they will paint the narrative differently. So why do we keep talking about it like they don't know? That's my thing. Like,
I mean, I guess people just want to continue to point out the injustice and don't want to just give up because they feel like if they give up, it will never change. So I think that's the reason why, they continue to just shed light on it. Like, this is wild. These people legit have guns. They touching the cops. They making contacts. They're in their faces yelling not positive things. They probably calling them out their names. And these niggas did nothing. These cops did nothing.
Right.
They just watched them. I'm like, bruh. And then compared to people who are not armed, who are just, saying, give us rights or do this. And they already tear gassing them. They beating them, sending them dogs, hoses. Like.
But at this point, to me, I just feel like at this point, like, we know that the white people that, that are reporting this, that they paint the narrative that these are patriots, they know this stuff too. So it's like, why do we just feel like we got to keep bringing it up like this? We know it is.
But
so what do you suggest they do, Mitty?
If justice haven't been served, you're supposed to continue to point.
Yeah, we still point out what's going on in our neighborhoods and all that, but in terms of like where we saying like, oh, look at what they're doing to these whites. Like, we don't give a fuck about them anymore. Let's just continue focus on what we're doing.
Yeah. I mean, look,
at least that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. But I mean, how do y'all feel about the fact that like Ghana reopened, bro?
Ghana definitely reopened.
But how do y'all feel like in West Africa period, like the numbers are not like staggering at all?
I honestly, to be honest, I would much rather be in Ghana right now than here.
I thought
the numbers were low. The numbers are low in Africa, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is, people don't understand. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say you also gotta understand, like, Africa's a little bit behind. You know what I'm saying? The trajectory. So you gotta look at the way thing is. You gotta look at the arch of it. From when it started from China to America, it's a way peaked yet. But I think that what I love that Africa is doing that we fucked up out here, that America fucked up, is Africa is not taking any chances as it's the score as the counts are low. They're taking action. Like you go in Senegal are mass producing kits right now for the entire Africa. You know what I'm saying? So So it's not. It may not be as crazy. America now, we have the U.S. have the highest death rate than fucking Italy. Remember when you was looking at the news and you saw fucking Italy and you was like, what the fuck? We have surpassed them.
But New York probably surpassed Italy by itself.
Yeah, New York is hurting, bro.
Oh, New York is the worst in the world.
Yeah. Wait, let's chill on the New York talk. Let's chill on the New York talk, okay?
No. We're not slandering New York.
Coming out. New York is worse than China. They're worse than the China real numbers. Forget the fake.
But they got reports coming out now saying like, yo, this virus might have been spreading like way back in December in like France and stuff.
The thing about it is, I knew about this virus because
why didn't you
I was telling the story on Instagram.
I would have bought Lysol.
Did you hit me?
I would have.
But this is the thing about people needing to watch the news and be alert on outside of social media because when that's what I mean about why I wanted to take myself off of social.
My father watches CNN every day.
But not even just CNN. Things come to your phone. Like news come to your phone. Things come to your phone, but we choose to actively go to different things.
So
or even when you go on Instagram,
You didn't want no steps.
No.
But the thing was, I was trying to buy hair from China. I was trying to get
Wow.
I was trying to get into some things with a friend. And this is back in like the ending of November. And they had shut down shipments coming from that part of China. And that's when he told us that basically it was because of coronavirus why they were not shipping things out. And then a friend of mine who was
that's how you got hit.
Yeah.
Well,
wow.
I'm a little against. I'm boycotting China right now.
Of course. I'm fuck China.
Yo.
I mean, not to say like that, whoever's watching, but
No.
You know.
Femi says every week.
Exactly.
Of quarantine every week. Femi has said that.
No, because
We are not Asianists.
Listen. On some real, bro. Like in the world, in each country, in each state, whatever, somebody commits a crime, you take them to courts and you sentence them. China has committed murder. Niggas, how many people done died? And we just go in world court, we just gonna leave them because they're a country?
Because they have so much power over us as well.
But
I feel like
you saying us as we're speaking of Africans, right?
They have power over us too, though. They badly, bro. They build every contract.
What if the rest of the world mobilize against them?
You know what, China? Listen, let me say this, man. China is a distraction. Not to say that what is happening in China is not real, and it's not fucked up. The way like this whole idea of perpetuating the idea that Africans are now going to be the cause of the second wave. That's fucked up. But China is a distraction, and this is something I was like. I had a live session with Sheung Kuti. And he kind of brought this shit to my attention too when he said, look at all what's been going on in the world. Look at the injustice that Africa has felt in the hands of Europeans. Look at that injustice. But now it's so easy for even them to start saying, oh, the Chinese are being racist towards Africans. The Chinese are being racist. What about the racism? What about the whole structure of the European regime, the European governments or the European emperors that has shaped Africa the way it currently is right now, that has led us to be a people that can't even believe in ourselves to a point where China now is just a catalyst of that which they started and bred it in us. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
If we're gonna call foul play on China, then we need to be just as loud to call the foul play on the French, the English, the Dutch.
And
you know what I'm saying? Everyone who was colonialism,
the genocide that was caused by Belgium, the African Holocaust.
Brother Dwayne, one at a time. I can't fight like 5, 6 countries at a time.
I'm gonna tell y'all something to the point of it being last year. When we came back from Ghana, I came back from Ghana. My flight from Ghana was like January, like I don't know, like 8th, 9th or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. I came back on the 7th, I think.
I passed through Morocco.
Yeah.
Morocco, of course. Everybody from all West, East, Asia, all continents passed through Morocco, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not flexing. I'm just saying. So
he flexing. That nigga flexing.
No, I'm not flexing. I didn't get the direct flight.
Nigga, shut your flexing ass up.
Anyway, my point is that it was Chinese people on the road next to me, and they all had a mask on, and one of them had like the chest congestion going on. But I didn't know about Rona yet because we was in Ghana 2 weeks plus. In paradise.
Right.
Now,
living a good life.
You were wasting your data on Bloomberg, on IG, instead of watching the news.
You damn right. But I came back, and that was my first demon cold that I had. I was sick when I got back, but my whole point is like, this thing. I mean, how long have we had free travel? People travel freely, like.
Man, last year I went to fucking China, and I was like, I think about that shit now. You can't move as freely around China as you could. Was it late in December, bro?
Was it late last year you were in China?
In December. Right?
Oh yeah, last year I went to Thailand, I went to China, and I went to Colombia, bro. I'm flexing.
You flexing, bro. You flexing.
I'm flexing, Nate. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I was in China last year. But you know what? But you know what was crazy though? I had a fucking good time, man.
In China?
And the Chinese people treated me, but it's so weird because I was something new to them. So it was like, dude, everywhere I went, I didn't have to
took your
spend
picture.
money.
Everywhere you went, they took your picture. I've been there too, bro.
Man, they took my photo. I didn't spend money.
They thought you were Tiger Woods.
With bottles. This shit was crazy.
My Anglo-Saxon coworker was like Tiger Woods. They were like, oh, Tiger.
Nigga, that shit is crazy.
Let me go over there and flex and see if I can get Beyonce.
Whoa.
Go to sleep. You go to sleep.
Had a cold.
I'm sorry, my
yeah.
Any guy had a bad cold flu since last November till now. Like
I already told you. Did I tell y'all my experience? When I came back to LA?
Nah.
Son.
You had coronavirus?
You did.
Nah, when I came back to LA on my flight from DC back to LA, I was sitting next to this lady, white lady. She was on a cruise, and she couldn't breathe. They had to get the little gas vent for her on the plane.
She had that Rona.
And son, she had something because she was sweating, talking about I can't breathe, and I'm like sitting right next to her, I'm in the middle. And she's literally acting like she's dying. Right. So as soon as they got her off the plane, I ran straight to the bathroom, washed my hands. I got to my apartment, took all my clothes off, threw them in the washer. I was like, I ain't taking no chances.
You should have burned them.
I was.
That's why I'm scared to travel. I was gonna go to Atlanta. I've been wanting to go to Atlanta while this lockdown was happening, but I'm like, fuck that.
I was supposed to go. I'm supposed to be there last weekend. But my Southwest canceled my flight.
I'll be in Maryland right now. I wasn't.
Nah, man. DC ain't no fun when you can't do shit, bro.
Bama's was supposed to go to Afro Nation, man.
Afro Nation was not trying to refund nobody their tickets.
I got mine ASAP.
You still have fun with some folks. I mean, I go to see family and all that, so.
I love me the DMV.
My little niece and nephew.
Oh, DMV is our biggest city, man. When the Fela tour comes in town, DMV is the biggest.
I'm not surprised.
That shit be so lit. God damn.
I mean, that's what we do out here.
Free tickets or not?
Oh yeah. No. Why you bullshitting? Yeah, man. Anytime if Fela's in your city and I'm doing the show, bro, you good, man.
Shit.
And that goes for all of y'all.
I'm gonna need like a couple tickets.
I got you, bro. I got you. I give you like 3.
You win.
Bless up, bro. We appreciate it.
But we got you, guys. You can quote me back on the podcast. You can quote me back on the podcast.
That's why our podcast live forever, because then we can always reference this, right? We about to wrap up, young. Y'all want to go ahead and give me your socials, you know what I'm saying, and anything y'all got coming up that y'all want to share with them before we get out of here?
Man, as for me, man, like right now, I've just been doing a lot of writing, man. You know, Hollywood, for a sense, even the acting, they trying to launch some auditions online, monologue. I entered in one or few or two of those, you know, but for the most part, this is just a time for me just to really just get with self, man, and discover what really matters. I mean, we out here trying to make it in this industry or doing our hustle just to, get bread. But at the end of the day, this shit means nothing when you are stuck in a situation like this, So for me, I'm just, after this, I would say I'm gonna head out to Salon, man. I want to do something in Salon. So I don't know what it is yet. I know it's gonna involve arts, but I'm gonna head to Salon once this shit is over and structure some shit out there.
That's what's up.
Yeah, bro.
And for me, so I'm still working on Hip Hollywood's social media, and as well, I'm also kind of getting into my acting and writing as well. So I'm doing more I've been writing.
Talk your ish, damn. Let them know you out here.
Some screen stuff, you know what I'm saying? We might be Issa Rae out here.
Oh, you actor.
Hey, Femi's an actor. I just want to remind you.
Huh?
Everybody.
I've been seeing him on Instagram. I've been seeing him showing off his good side. Okay.
Deb, you know Jessica?
Huh?
Deborah, you know Jessica Oberlum?
I know a few Jessicas, but I don't know last names.
Okay, you know Karen, the girl that's on that BET show with Lori London, the Nigerian chick.
Oh yes. Mm-hmm.
That's Jessica's her sister. You should connect with her. She's a writer too as well.
Oh, thank you. I'll definitely look
and
out
she's
for that.
Nigerian.
Yeah.
That's your people's.
Look at that.
He said that's your people.
That's why I love my African people. We know how to, we know how to connect in the right way.
Maybe me too. I should connect
We all fan. We all fan.
I've been telling you, King Mitty, you be BSing, bro.
They could got you like
oh, you talking?
I've been telling me too. Come through to some things, and he don't be in town. So
Deb don't text me. I don't even fly out anymore like that.
Damn.
Text me.
What's like that since last week?
Wow.
Since last year.
Damn.
He be cooking, don't invite me over. Like, it's crazy. I be starving in my house.
Damn.
No food, no nothing.
LA, man.
We quarantine. You're supposed to be alone.
LA done changed you, Mitty.
Yeah, for real.
He's from LA Laurel.
I changed.
From Laurel to Staples Center, bro.
All right.
He live right next to the Staples Center.
Is that correct,
bro?
Mm.
You can see it from his window. I'm just saying.
You can't see the Staples Center from my window. Relax.
When was the last time you was in the DMV, Deborah?
I was in the DMV for New Year's. I started the New Year's in the DMV. Y'all just wasn't, messing with me when I was out there. But
that's not true.
Nah, we was all in Africa.
We saw each other.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Y'all all went to Africa. My invitation was lost in the mail. Is that what happened?
No, you didn't. I saw you last summer. You and your sister. We was at Elevate together.
Yeah, but not for New Year's. That's what I'm saying. Not in DC for New Year's.
New Year's, I was on my.
You didn't buy your own tickets.
Y'all, Deborah be at all the hips shit in LA. I just looked at her Instagram page.
You thought I was joking when I said I wasn't going to red carpet?
What we not going to?
Deborah starred in these streets.
What we not going to?
Do wear each month? You just don't know, my brother.
I remember. The day I knew Deborah was on a different level was the day I saw Deborah's IG story. She was like party hopping. She went from.
What are you talking about?
You went from Burna Boy.
I seen that.
You went from Burna Boy to like Snoop Dogg's house or something to like Tiger's house. I was like, damn.
So like, he said Tiger's.
I was like, that's on a different level. Like. And I'm like,
Mitty, no, honestly, you would be my event buddy.
Calabasas to Long Beach and shit.
You heard that?
But he's telling me.
He gonna flake, Deborah. Don't.
Right, I know he is. That's what I'm saying.
Where would I flake? I stay in the house.
One thing I'll say about Mitty won't flake on events though.
What?
Who flake on?
What do you mean I flake on?
I don't think Mitty will flake on.
Mitty will end up sleeping before going to an event. Okay.
But
what are you talking about? No, I won't.
Nah.
This is assassination of character. Yeah. Oh my God.
Trust me, I've seen Mitty in action. I think he will fade in events. Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, outside
open. Y'all about to open up on Friday, so y'all can negotiate this.
I'm staying still in my house.
They're not opening nightclubs up on Friday.
Like, yeah, but I'm saying like you can at least invite her over for some fish because you be making fish. And all that.
Oh, so you be knowing? See what I'm saying? How he don't be inviting me over for no food?
Deb, I cook fish for myself and then I post a picture on IG.
Everybody that's the Nigerian boy for you. What?
Anyway. Let's give a moment of silence. Rest in peace to Tony Allen.
Yes, great Tony Allen.
Tony Allen. Tony Oladipo. Oh, it's just Oladipo. It's not even Oladipo. Tony Oladipo. Tony. Yeah. Drummer for Fela. So rest in peace. He passed away this previous.
I did a festival with Tony 2 years ago, man, out here in LA. That shit was so lit. Tony's a beast, man. Yeah, Fela said if it wasn't for him, like Afrobeat really wouldn't have existed.
Wow.
Like Like he was a fucking beast, man.
He was put together, huh? They really influenced.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I just pulled up the article on the New York Times.
Y'all got when y'all say Fela, y'all got say I bought me a diamond.
I buy me.
You know what that is. Go ahead, do your Google.
We are getting ready to wrap up and get up out of here. We appreciate our LA natives for joining us and having a thorough discussion on everything today, man. Y'all were great. Appreciate y'all, man.
I'm on the show.
And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
This was fun.
So, thank you for joining us.
This was a long podcast. My lady just walked in the room and said, "You can talk." She talking about me. I'm like, I'm on the podcast. I can't jump off early, babe.
Yeah.
But we wrapping up.
I'm rocking a Cameroon jersey.
Actually, lady, she got any friends?
Hey.
She got any friends?
King me.
You can do that.
Have any friends?
Okay. Wrapping up, right?
Y'all can't hook anybody else up first before y'all hook me up. That's not fair.
Damn, we don't know any guys for you.
Get hooked up
We can discuss this off the pod.
What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah,
I'm not high maintenance.
End the pod now.
Deborah, pull up in the DMV. We got you. Pull up in the DMV.
No, the DMV. I will say that the DMV got the men's in there.
Yeah.
But
Most of the dudes I know are taking up now. So I can't help you.
Most of your friends are sorry. Next.
But we gonna double date. You gonna bring your sister though. We gonna double date. You gonna bring your sister though. Or what's
I can hook that up if you got something. I mean, let me know. We can talk.
What up? What's good?
You know you talk about his sister.
Deborah, we talk.
For him, not for nobody else. For her, for him.
I didn't hear you.
I said he's asking for your sister for him, not for anybody else.
I know. I think he's a good guy.
Hey,
I think he's a good guy. I was glad when you dating my sister.
Hi. You see, love. What I don't pass, Gary.
Wow.
I forgot I had y'all on mute. My
Does she have a system for us?
Wow.
She needs to have 3 sisters. No, 4 sisters. It's 4 of us. 4 sisters.
In Dominican life.
I've never been to Cameroon. Look at the lion. Agape love.
In Dominican life.
Wait, just hang up the phone and go happy yourself, okay? You don't have to hear what you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yaounde love. Douala love.
Okay, you gotta go.
And she can cook too. And she can cook too.
Yes.
African women
cook. What do you mean? African women cook. We supposed to.
You can cook. Yes, you are.
You don't have a lot of Ghanaian girlfriends then, cause
I don't actually. I only have one Ghanaian friend.
Yeah, see the way you are.
Girls don't be trying to cook for dudes no more.
Yes.
No, that's not true. That's not true. The thing is,
I want a dude to cuff you.
Nah,
trying to show effort.
This sounds like a whole nother podcast, another Wednesday conversation.
About to load up, right?
Dog, maybe
I'm gonna sip my tea. I need some more tea.
I would say,
Babes cooking for you, family?
Babes cook, nigga. Babes cook for you too, nigga. What you talking about?
Not that much. They don't be cooking for me that much.
When you was in DMV or LA?
Wait, you talking about you got a DMV and an LA girlfriend?
I don't have no girlfriend. He's asking me in general.
Yeah, in general. Look at Deborah. Your job has made her always to look for tea. Eh? She's always fishing for tea.
I gotta sign off. That's why I gotta make sure. She's not cooking for you. That's the problem.
When I was in the DMV, youngins ain't never cooked for me like that.
DJ Earthquake and Mo Man, what do y'all say about that?
The woman cook for me in the DMV?
Yeah.
If not, I'll be dead. Are you kidding me?
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's not